Starting off with a standing bow, stepping out with the left foot into a forward fighting stance, left hand palm down, right hand palm up into a dragon tail kami. Now doing a sweeping motion, overhead strike. Sweeping motion, overhead strike. Curling or a hook from this position, post, turning from a cat stance into another cat stance. Step, strike, pivot, forward fighting stance away, forward fighting stance forward, forward fighting stance away. Step, strike to the head, strike to the head, strike to the head, poke and ki, spinning backwards, striking towards the legs or the knee. Switch hands, right hand down, palm down, left hand palm up, step into a leopard stance, strike, hook, block, poke, block, switch hands, side strike to the head, poke to the head, spinning backwards, striking body level, hook block, sweep with the left leg, sweep with the right leg, overhead strike, dragon tail kami. Sweeping with the right leg, overhead strike, dragon tail kami. Drop the bow into the sand, flip the sand into the opponent's eye, strike and ki, dragon tail kami, and then into Chibana no Ko. Starting off with the standing bow. Now why don't you go ahead and do that first and then I'll. Chibana no Ko. I'm bowing, stepping out with the left foot. Left hand is palm down, right hand is palm up, going to a dragon tail kami. Sweep, overhead strike. Sweep, overhead strike. Hook, post. Cat stance, chamber, strike, away, into the strike, away. Head level strike, head level strike, head level strike. Poke and ki, strike to the knee. Switch your right hand, switch your left hand. Overhead strike, hook, block, strike, block, switch, strike, strike. To the middle of the body. Hook, sweep with the left leg, sweep with the right leg, overhead strike. Position, sweep, overhead strike, dragon tail kami. Drop the bow in the sand, strike, strike and ki, dragon tail kami, Chibana no Ko. End of Kata. Chibana no Ko. On the night of seminar, we demonstrated some Bunkais that were possible from the Kata, Chibana, no Kon. Remember, Chibana was the man's name. No means with in Japanese, and Kon is another name for a bow. So to begin with, I first demonstrated the opening movement of the Kata. I did nothing more than just step out, do the dragon tail kami. I did the sweeping motion and overhead strike. And one of the Bunkais that I demonstrated that night was a person came in with an overhead attack, and we did the dragon tail kami to stop the attack, did a sweeping motion to the leg to make her fall down, and then strike overhead towards the opponent. So to demonstrate that one more time, she comes in with an overhead attack, I block, sweep, and overhead strike. The next one that I demonstrated that night was after the person was here, we simply, after we did the overhead strike, we went sweep and overhead strike and hooked. In that particular motion, I demonstrated as more the attacker being over here, and then she came in, or just rushed in, and all I did was sweep out her leg. I came in with an overhead strike, and then I hooked under her hand, and I disarmed her from the bow. That was the interpretation shown there. So once again, she stepped in, I sweep her leg, making her fall down, strike, I hook under the arm, and I disarm her from the bow. The next one that I showed an interpretation from was these series of movements where you step in and strike, pull away, strike, pull away. And we began from after you were here in the post position, we had the attacker come in with a swing from the left side. So more like you're stepping in this way, but swinging the left side of the bow. And we went block. Then I stepped in and went strike to the knee, making her fall down. And I pulled the bow away and went strike right to her body in this position. So once again, I was here. She swung that bow. I went block, strike, pull away, strike again. The next interpretation that I demonstrated was from these movements, strike, strike, and strike. And from here, it could be as simple as she just rushes in, and I just went strike to the side of her head, strike to the side of her head, strike to the side of her head, and then I just poked her right in the head again with the ki. The next thing that I demonstrated was possibility. She swung in an attack, and I went block. She swung in with an attack from the other side. Then she swung in with an attack from the other side, and then I went poke into her head right here. So those were a couple of possibilities with those Bunkais. The next movement I demonstrated was when you were here and you swung in this position. One thing I demonstrated there could be she swung an attack from that side of her, and I used a poke to actually stop the attack, and then I swung and struck her with the bow on the other side. So to demonstrate that again, she swings, I block, and I step backwards and then strike her in the head here. The other possibility that I demonstrated was more like someone was behind you, and I came in and struck here, and now as she advances or attacks, I strike her to the knee right here. And then, of course, the next movement is for me to switch hands and step in and go strike in this position. And then, of course, even using the hook in some manner to either disarm or attack. Another thing I demonstrated that particular night is if you started from here and they come in with their overhead attack, and I simply... as they come in, they're just stepping in or rushing in, and I struck the knee. Then I used the hook motion to strike her on the other side of the head. And then, of course, I could be blocking my next attack or doing something else. And those were pretty much all the Bunkais that we worked on or demonstrated that particular night. So it's to give you some idea of some of those opening motions and things that you could do.